I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good morning, Jeremy Adams. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
Doing fantastic.
Great pleasure to connect with you, Jeremy. Please tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
I am currently in Orlando, Florida.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
That's a great. Here, actually, what was the question?
Sure.
Sorry.
Which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
My greatest talent and the reason we're connecting is just my ability to build businesses.
Ooh, who did you learn that from?
I learned that from being around some great mentors, some great coaches, and a lot of trial and error and lots of mistakes and headaches.
Yeah, I could see the headaches. Ooh, did you hold your head when you said that?
Yeah. My head started to hurt a little.
Well, tell us, nevertheless, the headaches that you've experienced, the ups and downs, why will you continue to repeat the skill of what is required to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I wouldn't change my life for anything, right? And I say headaches, that sounds negative. They're really learning experiences because we're always growing and doing bigger and better things. And I would rather have those learning experiences earlier on in my career so I can avoid as many of them down the road with bigger and more impactful projects. And I love having my freedom. I love being able to sleep in till 11 on days when I want. I love being able to take a week off, but there are those days when I'll work 14, 15-hour days because I need to get a bunch of shit done. So, but the freedom and now building my financial freedom is really great, and I love it.
Well, when you said headache, like I immediately saw the unicorn that is definitely branded right through your organization, and what it takes to have that stick outness, if you would, right? Tell us about your business that you're running via the unicorn.
Yeah, so Unicorn Innovations is a new business. My partner Max Finn and I started earlier this year. And that also under that umbrella is Unicorn IQ, which Unicorn IQ is going to be our leading training and online course company. And really we were in the digital agency business the last few years, and I had my food truck manufacturing company I started when I was 22. I still am partners in that. I grew that because of digital marketing. So I've been in the digital marketing space for about 6 years now, a lot with my own money and stuff. But Unicorn, we just wanted a name that was ourselves. Even the logo, the guy's wearing a hoodie, he's kind of a nerd. It kind of is a representation of us. We wanted a business that we loved, and we were very selective who we work with. We only do what we want to do when we want to do it, and it's just I love every minute of it. It has so much upside. It has so much potential. We've had tons of people reach out to us to possibly invest capital. And what this business primarily focuses on is ultimately our tagline is customer acquisition made easy. So if you're we don't really like working with startups too much. We'll help out just to help out if you're brand new. But as far as engaging in business activities, we prefer a business at least doing a few $1 million a year in revenue or more, and we help them get to the next level and acquire more customers through digital platforms, Facebook, Google, native.
Well, with someone on the other side of you who is well in maxing or maxing well, right? It must be a fascinating journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's again like the idea of being an entrepreneur and just doing exactly what I want to do when I want to do it. That's worth all the other small headaches that come along with it. I mean, it really is.
Tell us one other thing, Jeremy, you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Over the last 3 years, I've focused on creating super high level relationships and partnerships. So, I had an agency with Kevin Harrington, who was on the first couple seasons of Shark Tank. I have a business venture with Pat Flynn, who you probably know. He's in the podcast space. He has Smart Passive Income. We have a business that we work on together called Food Trucker. I have my business coach and some other mentors that I'm just very fortunate to be connected with and learn from, and they're all extremely high level and where where I'm heading towards.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, I feel very great to learn from those guys. Something my business coach tells me, and this is something that I really only discovered 6 months ago or so, is for the longest time I put a lot of these higher end people I connect with on a pedestal, and just because I'm just like I'm kind of lucky to be around him, and my business coach will say like, hey, and he makes a few $1,000,000 a month in income. I mean, extremely high level dude, and he's just like, you bring as much value to me and all these other people you're connecting with as I bring to you, because you come with ideas, you come with energies. He's like, I'm 60. He's like, I don't get excited about this like I used to, but now that we're talking, I'm getting way more excited and I'm looking forward to doing stuff. So, having just realizing that you bring not more value, and not in an arrogant ego way, but you bring mutual value. And, that for me has been a transition and mindset the last, like I said, 6 months or so. And it's actually elevated my relationship quality with some of these guys.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, you bring the unicorn. You're unique, right? You bring your own unique real self. Love it. Love that. Whoop whoop. Yeah, that's amazing. Suggest to someone out there who's listening that may not feel as though their value is just as equal as the other person's value, why they should understand that they are.
Well, so depending on who you're connecting with, your value may or may not be equal, right? It's not for everyone, but if you're, for me, for example, like, I mean, if you're in business and you're connecting to somebody that's a professional athlete, there really may not be mutual value you can bring them. It just may not make sense. I don't know. But if you're looking for an older business mentor and you're a young and up and comers that's super aggressive, high energy, that's where it's like you guys are on similar paths. You're very similar. You're just at different stages in your life. That's where that mutual value can be exchanged. You can bring the energy, the creative ideas. A lot of old guys and girls are really out of touch with newer technology and newer social platforms. You can help with a lot of those things. I mean, that's how I've built some great relationships as well. They have a lot of money, they have a lot of experience, but they have really no clue what's going on in millennials' heads and stuff like that. So that's really where it comes from. Is if there's someone that you are striving to be, there are some really key value items that you can bring to these people.
Love it. Amazing audience. We're live with Jeremy Adams. Again, you can connect with them or him via unicorninnovations.com. Is there any other place you'd like people to connect with you?
Yeah, they can. I love connecting with people directly. I love helping out entrepreneurs in particular. In particular, my email is Jeremy, Jeremy, at unicorninnovations.com. So happy to chat with anybody. And yeah.
Love it. Well, Jeremy, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Jeremy, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is actually, it's really crazy because I just thought about this. I was in Guatemala for 8 days, and I was like 2 years old, and I remember just like being in like a crib and crying, and no one was there. So it ended up being crazy that like that's just kind of how my parents treated me, like not in a mean way, but when I would cry, they would just leave me until I stopped crying. So I learned not to cry, which had some interesting effects on me as I got older. But yeah, I still do remember just being in that crib in the particular room and just crying. And it's really crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I mean, definitely. How has that impacted, or how do you see that connecting to who you are today?
Well, there's pros and cons, and this is kind of what we discovered when I did some personal development. Is at a young age, I trained my brain that if I show emotion, that I'll get abandoned, right? And that's what this team kind of helped me figure out. If I cry, my parents will leave me. In modern day world, it's if I show emotion, friends or relationships will leave me, or whatever the case, right? So it makes a lot of sense because one of my weaknesses in business to this point has been a lack of empathy. I've had lots of business partners tell me that, lots of trusted employees tell me that, and it's something I'm working to improve, right? We all have lots of things we can improve upon. But yeah, I mean, it definitely transitioned to a lack of empathy in certain areas. I think it is improving just because I'm more aware of it and I'm doing everything I can to improve it. But that lack of empathy in certain areas it also brings a lot of business value, right? I can make the best decision for the business or for the company, for the partners, because I'm not too divested in the emotional outcomes of everything as well. So again, pros and cons to it, but it's definitely something that still is with me today.
That's amazing. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Absolutely.
I find it amazing. Well, first, let me say totally in agreement with what others said in terms of the emotional phasing, if you would, that would have created. But I'm intrigued by your mental memory for pain. Like, that is absolutely fascinating because there's so many other things going on at that specific time, like the room and your awareness of it. But to see your memory of pain and to see the growth that comes from it, I'm totally intrigued by how that connects to who you are today, understanding that the truth of the matter is this thing is going to cause me pain and I'm not going to interact with it is a strength. This thing may cause me pain and I am going to interact with it, a choice. And to see you being that individual that has matured to the point to see what you just said, understanding and identifying who you are, is pretty fascinating to me, Jeremy.
No, I appreciate that. And this is recent for me and it wasn't easy. I mean, it was very, very challenging to go through these things and to share it with, I was with a group of guys and we shared this stuff amongst each other, or amongst ourselves. And yeah, but it definitely had a lot of benefits, and I really appreciate that observation and perspective.
You're welcome. And I think combining with a guy like Maxwell Finn is a great idea. Because he definitely has that emotional love side, doesn't he?
Yeah, we both have we both have a lot of similarities and we have a lot of differences too. But yeah, I mean we're a partnership, we're yin and yang, and we've had so many challenging partnerships before this in our career. So just sometimes you need those super challenging partnerships to really appreciate good ones, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So it's really cool, and we have a lot of fun and have some big things ahead of us.
Yeah, most definitely. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
When I was 12, my favorite song?
Yeah.
So I still listen to this band today. A lot of people give me shit for it, but that's okay. When I was like elementary and middle school, I loved the Backstreet Boys. I still, on my Spotify to this day, I'm on like a 2 or 3 hour drive or whatever, I'll listen to some audiobooks. I'll probably listen to some Backstreet Boys or something. So I'm a huge fan, and when I was 12, I was probably listening. Well, I guess it'd probably be CDs back then, so I was probably listening to them on my CD player.
What's your favorite song?
I mean, honestly, all their albums I enjoyed. Favorite song, I like some of their newer stuff, like In a World Like This is good. I like Incomplete back in the day. There's some good ones. If anybody knows about the Backstreet Boys, they'll know what's up.
Hey, I love some Backstreet Boys as well. I'm really amazed by how guys come on here. Like, I have a few guys that said Backstreet Boys, but they always said it like this. I'm going to say it. Like it's always they're pulling back, right? But I don't understand it. Like, I'm cool with Backstreet Boys. Well, my friend, we've arrived at our destination now. But before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Jeremy?
I'm ready.
Jeremy, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I have some mentees I'm working with right now.
Are you married?
Not married.
Do you have children?
No children.
Do you believe in God?
I'm on the agnostic side of things. I'm open-minded to a higher power, but I'm not affiliated with a religion.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
If it includes watching sports on like a Sunday, yes, but I very rarely will sit down and watch TV.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Including phone, it's probably 8 hours a day. Yeah.
If you had to share with us, Jeremy, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Jeremy Adam, what Adams? What would you say that is?
Try to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort.
Love it. Jeremy, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No. Hope this brought a lot of value and hope this helped and inspired someone. And really appreciate your time and having me on today.
Yeah, definitely. A pleasure I treasure. Jeremy Adams, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.